Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
And I'm Mike.
And today is Subscriber Sample Saturday. So, what are we doing today? We have no idea. You guys are going to see. But today's episode comes courtesy of Papa G. Thank you, Papa G, for sending in. And this is sample number A. We have not looked at our sample sheet. We have no idea what we're doing. You guys are going to know what we're doing because it'll be on the thumbnail, and I'll probably run a thing of the bottle at some point in time anyways, but we are totally blind to it. So, Subscriber Sample Saturday, one of you guys are super generous and send us in a sample, and Mike and I try it, and we try to figure out what type it is. Maybe what proof it is. We just play a little game, whether we think it's finished or not. And actually, we nailed his last one. I was actually pretty shocked about that. But, you know, even a broken clock is right twice a day. So we'll see what happens on this one. But thank you very much again for sending these in. Thank you. We greatly appreciate it. A fun game. Really hard to do. If you've never tried it, to try to just even have somebody, you know, even like we do on Monday, where my wife goes and grabs something we've never tried before. You know, you think you would, it's how hard is it to figure out what type it is, but man, we've been wrong more than often than we've been right.
It's not a bad nose.
It's not, but I'm trying to get something distinguishing that jumps out at me. You know what I mean? Like the last one did. Like I got that fruity butterscotch, which brings me to the Buffalo Trace area. Little did I know the whole episode I kept saying Buffalo Trace, and it was actually Buffalo Trace, but... All right, I'm going to have to try this a little sip, see what this does.
It was Buffalo Trace, and it was one I've never seen.
Right, exactly. Which was excellent. Speaking of excellent.
I was going to say, this has...
This...
It had it different. I thought maybe I was getting a light rye in the beginning of a nose.
Yeah,
but it's
carrying. It had a different flavor for sure.
Definitely, like beyond the oak, there was something else.
There is something in the nose, and that's what I was trying to get. And it didn't translate in my head to the palate of what I thought I was going to smell.
The palate was totally different.
I'm gonna have to give this a minute. Give this a minute in a glass or something.
No, because now the nose came into super caramel.
Well, see, that's the funny thing, because I said the same thing. After I took a sip, now I'm getting a caramel, but I didn't get that originally when we were smelling it. That's interesting. You thought rye off the bat?
I did. I'm dying.
That seems to be the new trend.
Lately? Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me it is.
That's, man.
It's got a good spice.
I'm not...
Damn it.
On rye, I'm not getting any mint. If that's what
I've lost that.
Okay.
You getting a proof?
No. The first sip I thought was actually, was like, I was going to say 100 or below. The second sip hit me a little different, but I'm trying to take little sips to try to... So I wasn't trying to jump the proof yet. Yeah. I'm trying to wait to see if this turns into... There is a little twinge to that. Where you said rye on there. This is giving me a little different smell, and that's why I don't want to say rye because it doesn't taste like it.
I think it would lean towards a higher rye.
Like a high rye bourbon, you think?
I think... I can't smell. I can't talk. I can't smell.
Welcome to the influenza zone over here now. I think I'm in the splash zone. It's funny how the nose... This is definitely like drinking and smelling two different things to me for some reason. Like, it's not that... Like, not that I'm getting anything distinct. There is a light caramel in there.
There is that.
I'm not really getting... There's a sugary sweetness in there, but I'm not really getting... Other than the light caramel, I'm not getting like a...
I'm getting pretty good... I'm getting a pretty good fizz going down, though. I'm thinking we might be higher than your 100.
Well, that's why I said my first sip, it wasn't. And the last couple, though, it's almost starting to warm me up inside.
It sticks on your tongue,
like,
and and it holds you here. I'm leaning more towards like 108, 112.
Mm-hmm.
But now I can't figure out.
I'm still trying to get whether it's bourbon or rye. Because there is like a cooling sensation in the middle that I'm getting. So you might.
I thought I grabbed a little bit of a mint in the very beginning.
I'm not getting like the mint, but there is like a spark. So this could be one of them. And there's nothing on it, so it doesn't matter if we guess a rye or not. Other than I want to be 100%
pretty well
right.
The nose right now seems more bourbon than rye.
Right, but I'm just wondering if it's like a barely legal rye type of a deal where you get a lot of the bourbon notes, but you has that rye spice also.
It is carrying a spice.
Mm-hmm. I will say the nose is just getting better and better in the glass as it sits. For
I
sure.
agree with that too.
Yeah,
I would jump to the next level because it was like, is it finished?
I'm trying to get. I'm sorry. It's a long one because it keeps changing in the glass. I'm trying to see if I can get like a fruit. I'm trying to figure out what I'm smelling. Like it smells like totally different than anything we've had. Or I should say, it smells like generic, like everything we've had. You know what I'm saying?
The nose is pretty close to a lot of what we had.
Yeah,
but there's a different flavor in the end.
That's the tricky part because I'm mistaking my nose with my palate because it smells just like a traditional bourbon. But
where did we go? Well, who is it? So it's carrying the proof too, I think.
I don't think it's much more than 100. I really don't. The more it settles in, I don't think even if it's at 100, to be honest with you, it's very good. But it's if it's a rye, I think it's a rye spice. Or if it's a high rye bourbon, I think that's what you're getting is that rye. It might drink higher than its thing. I could be 100% wrong.
It just seems like it's hanging in my throat a little bit. It definitely stays on. I think there's a higher content of rye because it does stick on your tongue with a sparkle.
I said that about the Uncle Nearest, though, remember? And that was like 120
you
proof.
You were drinking that like it was water for some reason.
And that's what this is. This is kind of what this is.
I'm opposite of that because to me it's holding on.
Yeah.
And it's, again, the nose is definitely all like bourbon notes.
But when you roll it on your tongue, it kind of brings me in there. I'll just be fun, just to be different. I'll go like a rye. If not a rye, I'm thinking it might be a high rye bourbon. Or it could be a wheater, and it's none of the two.
I can't believe it'd be a wheater. I'd say it's a high rye bourbon.
I'm saying it's around 100 proof. I don't think it drinks. I don't think it drinks that hot.
110, 112, 108, 112, somewhere in there.
I don't taste any fruit, and I'm not tasting a heavy oak presence at the end, so I don't think it's finished. He sent the whole page last time. I don't know what he did with the samples on this one. What do you think? What do you think price wise? I know we're gonna have to look that up. You'll have to look that up on the app. What it goes for? Because he emailed me and said he forgot to put the prices. So what do you think this goes for? Like the last one was tricky because it's a Buffalo Trace, so whatever MSRP is, I'm sure that doesn't sell for it, being it's a limited edition and stuff like that.
It did say both, and I think we did say both.
Right.
I'm probably at.
This is almost going butterscotchy to me right now. Not the fruity butterscotch, but just like a butterscotch.
There might be a light fruit.
The more it sits on the glass, it's almost going butterscotchy to me.
It's got
butterscotch pudding too, like not even like a candy, like the butter. I haven't had it either, but that's what just popped into my head, like a butterscotch pudding. Like it's got the so it's almost like a caramel, it's butterscotch, but the pudding. I used to love butterscotch pudding too.
I'm with you.
All right, so what do you think? What do you think? We're down to price, and then we can do the big reveal. Because thank you again for sending this in. This is intriguing. I'm going to say actually right now.
I want to think this is like $79.99.
I was 100%.
Would I be whistling Dixie if it was $59.99?
Right.
If it's $159.99, the nose jumped out.
The way this keeps changing
right along.
The way this keeps changing in the glass. I mean, like you said, ideally, you get this 50 or under, and you're like, woohoo! But I'm thinking, very good. I'm thinking, if this was 80 or under, I would still be.
I think it's got a decent proof, so I'm thinking, well, yeah, if it's 80, that's fine. If it's 50, 60, it's even better.
Even better. So let's see what we're looking at.
If it's 30, that's even better, and I'll be searching for it. But
no,
I don't
exactly.
think it's a $30 one.
Which brings me to that before we even know what it is. I mean, depending on the price, this is a unique enough drink. You know, if it's $150, I'd be like, nah, it's not that unique. You know what I mean? But if it's cheap enough, then no, this would be one I would search out. It has a good taste, and it keeps changing in a glass, which is always fun to do.
Yeah.
All right. So make sure. Yeah. So sample A. Excellent. So this is Still Austin High Rye Bourbon Whiskey. It's the bottled and bond at 100 proof. We actually have that over there in the sack. I have yet to crack it open. I just found it the other day at one of the stores, and I bought a bunch of them. It's from their website. It's release number 2. So it's 100 proof, aged at minimum of 4 years. For the fall release, represented by the Golden Stallion, the high rye content calls to mind the crisp fall air, while it uses the white corn conjures. There was a corn smell that I was getting. There was a huge sweetness. Conjures visions of autumn fields. The spirit deep amber color recalls the red and gold leaves of the season. So it is 70% white corn, 25% rye, 5% malted barley. So orange zest, there's the thing that we should have got. Jamaican allspice. Maybe that's that. You like the allspice. Fig jam. See, there's like 32 different things that we never get. That's why, no one can ever accuse us of cheating on the thing. You get dark rye and bread, warm butter. I'm not getting any of the bread either.
No.
Chocolate-covered cherries. There was a hint of, if anything, that the zest was the one thing that was a thing. But there is a sweetness. We actually have. It'll be interesting now when we go over there. I don't know which one we have, but we do have. I bought it in the store.
What was it called? I was supposed to look it up.
Still Austin.
Still Austin?
Yeah. Still Austin High Rye Bourbon. I don't know if that's I bought 3 of them when I was at the store the other day. To see. So I hit the 100 proof anyways.
You did.
It is a bourbon. So I missed that one. But it is a high rye bourbon. So that's right where we were.
What was it? Naturalist? Musician?
It was still high rye bourbon whiskey. Bottled and bond. Still Austin.
I got it, but one came up.
I was going to try to do it in advance, but I didn't want to open up the thing, and we had no idea what it is.
Sorry,
I'll look it up later, and I'll put the thing down. I'll try to edit that down so it's a normal time.
They're not. So anything, they're still not outrageous. Anywhere from say,
I'll see what we paid for our bottle.
45, 46, to 100. So.
All right, that defeats the purpose of the price. But thank you very much, Papa G.
Yes, thank you.
I don't know how much of this I'm going to just cut out, but thank you very much for sending in this sample. This one is actually very good. It makes me excited to try. I forget which 3 I bought because I finally found them in the store. I didn't realize they actually came out here. I didn't think they did, and I happened to see it at my local Total Wine, and I was like, ooh, I'm going to buy these. We just yet to crack one of them. So, well, there you go. Thank you for sending this sample, and greatly appreciate it. That's Subscriber Sample Saturday. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.